new film. He did the new film, The Kid Who Would Be the King. I think it's called. He also did that. That's not out yet, I don't think.
Okay.
But yeah.
Nice.
So why'd you pick this, James?
I don't know. I've always wanted to review this one, but I never got the chance. Not really, not got the chance, but not really. Kind of slipped my mind every time I picked a movie to watch. But I really like this movie. I found this by accident, or it was actually recommended to me by one of my good friends, Hector, who I think he got it off of Redbox, and I did the same thing. And as soon as I got it, I ended up, or as soon as I watched it, I think the same night I ended up buying it on Amazon or something. But this to me is really an underrated movie, and not too many people know about it. And I think more people should, because I think it's a fun movie. It's a good time. But yeah, so that's why I picked it.
Nice, man.
What were your guys' thoughts on the movie? Since I don't think Diego's seen it.
I never seen it.
Yeah.
It was fucking good, dude. I like the corniness in there, with the action-packed aliens and shit like that. I love the fact that in the fucking opening scene they fucking kill an alien, and it's fucking it's so funny. I love what's his name, Finn?
John
Boyega in this movie. He seems like a badass in here.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like a little bitch during Star Wars, but like he seems like a badass in this one, you know? And he, you know, the whole cast itself was really good. Thought they did a really good job casting this movie. So my thoughts on it, I thought it was fucking great.
Nice.
What about you, Wes?
So I had watched it once before, a few years ago now, and I was kind of not sure about it. But watching it today with you guys, the light bulb went on, and I was like, okay, now I get what they're doing, and I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, there's nothing that I really didn't like about it. Even the monsters, I thought it was creative and brings this kind of weird element that's very original to the film. I love that it's set in like the slums of London.
Yeah.
And where it's kind of turning the heroes of the film into the heroes almost simultaneously.
Yeah.
And so you kind of start rooting for the bad guys in a sense, and then it's almost like they're doomed because nobody's gonna, because of who they are, is anybody gonna really believe them about this invasion that's happening? You know, are they adults, or are they just gonna be blamed for this these crimes committed by the aliens? So it turns into almost like a social commentary on how these underprivileged kind of kids are how do you say it, misunderstood.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of different themes running throughout this that I think probably a lot of people miss. But then of course you've got the lightheartedness. It's fucking action packed, and you can tell they probably had a smaller budget, and they really do pull off a lot of this stuff, and it feels like a thriller.
I think the budget was $5 million.
No, I checked. I think it was like 8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 8.
But I know that I think they doubled their budget though.
Really?
I think they made like 16 or something.
Oh, nice.
I actually checked, and it's 13.
13.
Okay.
13.
It's 13 million. And
well, it's because in euros, right?
Maybe I looked. Yeah. Well, maybe that's why. Yeah, you're looking at the different.
I'm looking at the European side, bro.
Yeah, but it was 13, and then it had a soft release. I don't think it was released wide, so
no,
that's why
so.
They didn't make. They didn't make that money back over, at least over here, which is sad. But of course, when you do movies that aren't, you're never guaranteed like a hit, because basically it's rated R, and then which obviously pits a lot of stuff against you, and then it's a different kind of culture, and so sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know about that, or I'm not going to understand them, or different things.
Warning ahead of time, if you haven't seen this and you decide to watch it, there is a lot of slang that is not familiar over here.
But, a lot of English slang.
Yeah,
a lot of English slang.
But you can catch on and understand what they're saying. It's just different terminologies.
If you watch the Premier League, you can understand this shit. I'm just saying. What I would say in this defense, I think in America it's not. The thing is that a lot of people don't know. It's like when an American film gets brought over abroad, it does really well because that's what they expect Hollywood to do. But there's so many great movies like this one. They're out there. They're in England. They're in Germany. They're in France. They're in different places.
They're never really seen or promoted over here.
Yes, and so then we miss out on this.
Yeah.
But you guess what? These streaming services like Netflix, like Hulu, like Amazon Prime, pick up these like films that are not really known and put them on their streaming service, and boom, we get the exposed to these movies and shit.
Yeah,
and that's what I seek. I wish it was the other way around. I wish it was like they would just pull movies that are good. I like the fact that now here in the we're in San Diego, we have this crossover with Del Vez, where he's releasing Spanish and English movies, all like a bilingual movie. And I know Omar Chaparro, who's famous in Mexico, releases movies a soft opening everywhere. Doesn't make the money, but they're kind of. I feel this is the transition that we're getting at now.
Yeah,
I feel we're more close to Canada. We might have a French release film, you know. So I mean, we're getting there. We're getting back to this, and this is a great movie.
I know it won some type of award at a film festival, Sundance or something.
Cannes.
But the only way people will know about this movie is either word of mouth or they've been following this movie since it started. This movie came out a long time ago, but or a few years ago at least, but. That's how I heard of it, was word of mouth.
Yeah.
Someone saying, "Hey, I saw this movie on Redbox. You should check it out," and I did.
But, and now they're hearing it through Drop the Mic.
Yeah. But I don't know how did you feel about this? I mean, do you think that it's not? I feel like it's just super underrated, and
it really is, and it has fucking. It had crazy special effects for being an English movie, because usually European movies are not based on like special effects or stuff like that. They're more about like the gritty, like more, I would say, kind of almost more towards a drama kind of theme, and it was a shocking surprise to see the effects on this. And it was an English-based studio that worked here, and it made me be like, "Whoa!" Like, pay attention to the British films out there, you know. And it was refreshing. That's what I would say, refreshing.
I think this is I think this either is or is pretty close to the beginning of John Boyega's career.
I would say.
I think it was maybe his first movie.
Yeah,
and I think he was actually in talks. It was him and Chadwick Boseman, who plays Black Panther, and a couple of other actors who were in talks to play Black Panther before Chad got the role, but he was in talks, I think, for Black Panther.
So we could have seen a switcheroo.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty cool to see. I think it was from this movie where they kind of got the idea, like, oh, he could be Wakanda. Yeah.
And ultimately fit in the fucking Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a part of Disney, so he made it. For me, I really like the gore in this.
Yes.
The little bits of it that they had, but I thought it was really cool, and it showed its purpose.
Yes.
It wasn't over the top or not a little bit, but it was just enough to be like, oh man.
Pretty realistic. Well, for looking at the creatures and the gore that goes along with it, it was pretty realistic. Mm-hmm. And they're not beating you over the head with it either. It's like well placed out, and yeah, all the attacks were great. I loved the kills and the practical effects. Very little CGI. And I digged, at first, the first time I watched it, the aliens kind of bothered me, and I was just like, I don't really understand. But then watching it now, I really like kind of like the mouth and the minimalist approach to them, because it kind of brings that kind of psychological thing to like what are these things really, or why are they jet black and stuff. It's almost like you can project your fears onto that. You know what I mean?
You know what? I felt that this got like the Cloverfield kind of treatment, where you see it, but you just don't really understand it, what the fuck it is. And so,
but that's part of the point.
And that's the thing, like that I love more about this movie. Is it's like the only thing they give you is the glowing teeth and the glowing eyes and shit like that, and which is perfect. It made me all so well. And then the naked female.
I really dug the Moses or John Boyega's explanation for what these creatures were. At one point in the movie, he's like they're created by the government because the black culture they're not killing each other fast enough. He's like, first they send drugs, then they send guns, and we're not killing each other fast enough, so they send these monsters in here to try to erase us from the world or whatever. But I thought that was a real cool social kind of commentary about how people feel now.
Yeah,
it's still relatable. Even this was maybe 5 years ago when this movie came out. But yeah,
it definitely have like Wesley said, a lot of undertone in there. In there. I'm sorry, and this was one of the and nice. I remember specifically that point too, because he was trying to understand why was this invasion happening.
Yeah,
So I get you, bro. I got you, bro. What do you think, Wesley?
If I had to rate this, I'd probably give it a 9.
Nice.
For effectiveness, and it's fun, and the rewatch value is really up there. There's a lot of funny bits, and it's got cult classic written all over it.
It does,
for sure. If a movie had that like staying power, it's this one for sure. And I think that's it's really cool how like the minimalist approach that they chose, because it's gonna age well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not so much CGI in it that it's gonna it's not bad CGI that's in it. It's so small, and I think I want to say that those creatures were people in suits most of the time.
Yeah,
and with movies that have low budgets, they tend to spend a lot of money on the CGI if they need it, but it ends up still being kind of bad CGI.
Yeah,
and you can tell after a few years when it evolves so much, and you see it now, and it's like, oh, it's shitty. But this one, I feel like how Wes said, it has very good rewatchable value in it, and it's that minimalistic type of approach they took to it. There you go. Got stuck. Really did help it out in the long run.
I totally agree with those statements. I rated a 9 as well. Definitely an underrated movie. Definitely something you need to watch if you're into gore, if you're into aliens, sci-fi. I mean, it's a cool culture shock as well.
Yeah,
it really is. And you know what? It exposes you to almost a different